The city exhales a chill, metallic breath as you, Cole Maxwell, navigate the pre-dawn streets. Your headlights slice through the lingering mist, painting the asphalt in fleeting silver. Each turn of the wheel carries the familiar weight of duty, a burden etched into the lines around your eyes, a silent testament to cases solved and a few, perhaps, left undone. The call came as they always do. A disruption in the ordered hum of the world. A life abruptly extinguished. This one, they whispered over the crackling radio, was different. Impossible. The address leads you to the city's most exclusive enclave, where wealth erects its own fortresses. Elias Thorne's smart home rises from manicured lawns like a shard of obsidian, all sharp angles and reflective surfaces. It is a monument to impenetrable security, a testament to a life lived behind layers of digital and physical armor. Even from the street, the house hums with a silent, watchful energy. A lone patrol car, its blue light strobing a hypnotic rhythm against the glass facade, marks the perimeter. The uniformed officer, a young man whose face still carries the soft edges of inexperience, nods a greeting. Your gaze sweeps past him, past the meticulously trimmed hedges, to the front door. It's an expanse of polished steel, devoid of handles or visible locks, a seamless barrier. Inside, the lead detective on scene, a woman whose patience is as legendary as her meticulousness, meets your eyes with a flicker of weary recognition. "Maxwell," she greets, her voice low. "Welcome to the impossible." She gestures with a gloved hand towards the inner sanctum of the house. No forced entry, every window sealed, every sensor activated. The system logs show no breaches. We had to get the architect to give us the override codes to even get inside. You follow her deeper into the structure, the air within strangely sterile, devoid of the usual domestic chaos. Each step echoes softly on polished concrete floors, the walls a cool, neutral gray. The smart home's intelligence is palpable, its unseen eyes tracking your movement, its climate control maintaining a perfect, unchanging temperature. It feels less like a home and more like a high-tech mausoleum. The living area unfolds, a vast open space dominated by a panoramic view of the city, currently shrouded in the retreating night. In the center of this technological serenity, Elias Thorne lies sprawled on a low-slung sofa. He is dressed in tailored silk pajamas, his posture unnaturally relaxed, a book still clutched loosely in one hand. His eyes are open, fixed on the ceiling, but devoid of light or life. You approach slowly, your breath held, a ritualistic deferment of the inevitable. The crime scene technician, already at work, lifts a camera to capture the scene. The flash a brief, stark punctuation in the quiet room. You kneel beside the victim, the cool air from the smart home's ventilation system brushing against your face. Elias Thorne, the visionary who built empires from lines of code, now just another still form beneath your gaze. His skin has a waxy pallor, but there are no obvious wounds. No bullet entry, no knife puncture, no ligature marks. His clothing is undisturbed, unrumpled. The book in his hand, a dense volume on theoretical physics, shows no signs of being dropped in a struggle. His face, even in death, retains a certain aristocratic aloofness. The lead detective kneels opposite you, her brow furrowed. The initial assessment from the pathologist's assistant on call points to no immediate cause of death. No obvious trauma. No poison in the immediate vicinity. It's like he just stopped. Her voice trails off, the unspoken question hanging heavy in the air. How? You reach out, gloved fingers hovering inches from Thorne's wrist, sensing the absence of a pulse. This is not a crime of passion, nor one of brute force. This is a crime of meticulous, almost ethereal precision. Every surface is pristine. No overturned furniture, no shattered glass, no signs of a struggle. The security cameras, the lead detective confirms, show nothing. No one entered, No one left. The digital logs are clean, a blank slate where a killer's footprint should be. His personal assistant is downstairs, the lead detective adds, pulling you from your reverie. He was the one who found him this morning when he didn't respond to his usual wake-up calls. She has a keycard, naturally, but the system shows her entry and exit at the appropriate times. She's distraught, but consistent. You rise, the weight of the inexplicable settling onto your shoulders. The familiar frustration begins to coil in your gut. Anything unusual in his recent activities, you ask? Your voice a low rasp. Any threats? Business dealings gone sour? The lead detective consults a tablet. Thorne was notoriously private, a loner even for a tech mogul. But his assistant did mention one thing. He was at the private bank vault below a historic building yesterday afternoon, retrieving some kind of encrypted data chip. She said he was paranoid about it, insisted on handling it himself, called it a personal project he couldn't trust anyone else with. The words hang in the air, a sliver of an answer in a sea of questions. A man found dead in an impenetrable fortress, with no visible cause, no weapon, no killer's path. You feel the familiar, unwelcome stir of determination. A resolve hardened by experience and sharpened by the ghost of past mistakes. This time, you promise yourself, the truth will not be buried. The sterile hum of the smart home's ventilation system is a low thrum against your ears, a counterpoint to the methodical clicks and whispers of the forensic team. Each specialist moves with a practiced grace, their gloved hands sifting through the layers of Thorne's meticulously curated existence. You watch them, a silent sentinel, your gaze sweeping over the polished surfaces, the minimalist furniture, the array of screens that once displayed the digital pulse of a man's empire. No forced entry, no visible weapon. The impossible crime continues its cold, silent taunt. A younger detective, notebook clutched, approaches, his brow furrowed. Cole, the executive assistant, is here, ready to talk. You nod, turning from the scene. Her eyes are dry, but the tension in her jaw speaks volumes. "Thank you for coming," you begin, your voice level. "We understand this is difficult." Mr. Thorne was a demanding visionary, she states, her voice precise, devoid of warmth. His world was complex. And who inhabited that world? You press gently. Beyond his professional sphere, who would know his secrets? The industry is a viper's nest. There was a particular dispute with the CEO of Viridian Tech, a bitter patent battle over the core algorithms of Thorne's latest innovation. It was intense. And his estranged sibling. There was bad blood there, over family assets, I believe. She offers a list of names, a fragile map of Thorne's fractured relationships, and some disgruntled former employees. He was not one to tolerate perceived inadequacy. You listen, absorbing the details, the undercurrent of resentment that seems to cling to Thorne's memory. Next, you speak with the CEO of Viridian Tech, a man whose tailored suit cannot entirely conceal the predatory gleam in his eyes. He denies any involvement, his alibi ironclad, but his words are laced with a barely disguised satisfaction. Thorne was a relic, he sneers, his voice smooth as polished stone. His methods, his arrogance, he made enemies, many enemies. That patent dispute? He was losing, he knew it. His empire was built on sand, Cole. The patent dispute, it becomes clear, was not merely a legal squabble, but a deeply personal vendetta for both parties. The estranged sibling, when located, offers a different flavor of animosity. Their grief is brittle, almost resentful. "He cut me out," the sibling states, eyes darting around the opulent room as if searching for a ghost. "Said I wasn't worthy of his legacy. His wealth, his secrets. He kept everything locked down, even from family. There were things, old family trusts, he manipulated. He was always one step ahead, always controlling." The sibling reveals a deep-seated financial grievance. a family fortune fractured by Thorne's ambition. Hours later, the lead forensic specialist, a woman with keen eyes and a methodical demeanor, approaches you. Cole, still nothing conclusive on entry or exit. No forced locks, no broken windows, no hidden passages. The biometric scans are flawless. Only Thorne's prints and retina scans registered access to the inner sanctum. We're running residue tests, looking for anything out of place. The victim's body shows no external trauma, no defensive wounds. The cause of death remains a puzzle. No weapon residue. It's like he's simply an encrypted data chip. The words from the earlier briefing echo in your thoughts. If Thorne kept his secret so close, perhaps the vault held a key. You make the call, arranging for access. The drive takes you through the city's older districts, past structures that predate Thorne's digital age by centuries. You arrive at a grand stone edifice, its facade weathered by time, a stark contrast to the sleek, modern lines of Thorne's smart home. Descending into the cool, subterranean depths, you feel the weight of history press down. The vault custodian, a man whose precise movements suggest years spent guarding treasures, leads you through a labyrinth of polished steel and reinforced concrete. The air grows heavy, thick with the scent of old paper and metal. You find yourself standing before a massive circular door, its bronze surface gleaming under the dim lights. The custodian unlocks the series of complex mechanisms, the heavy tumblers clicking with a resonant finality. The door swings inward with a low hydraulic sigh, revealing a chamber lined with rows of individual safety deposit boxes. He directs you to Thorne's designated box. Your gloved fingers work the small key. With a soft thunk, the rectangular metal container slides out. You pull it into the light, your gaze sharp, expectant. It's antique, intricate, a starkly personal item in a place meant for high finance and critical data. No chip, no documents. Just this anachronistic piece of jewelry. It's sealed, no visible seam. A faint, almost imperceptible etching graces its back. A stylized, intertwined T and A. Motives are beginning to surface. Corporate betrayal, bitter family feuds, patent wars. A tangled web of human greed and resentment. But the how of Thorne's death, the impossible lock, the vanished weapon, only grows more confounding. The drive unravels, a ribbon of asphalt through the city's older districts, past structures that predate the glass towers and silicon dreams. You feel the history in the crumbling facades, the weight of forgotten industry. A uniformed guard, a silent sentinel, acknowledges your arrival with a curt nod. You present your credentials, the official warrant, the weight of the law a palpable thing in your hand. This is where fortunes slumber, where legacies are sealed away from prying eyes. Finally, the vault itself. A behemoth of reinforced metal, its circular door a mandala of interlocking gears. The vault manager, a woman with precise movements and a detached gaze, inputs a sequence, her fingers dancing on a keypad. She leads you to Thorne's designated compartment, a polished brass rectangle. With a key and a turn, the box slides out, a heavy, silent drawer. Inside, not the stacks of cash or glittering jewels you might have imagined, but a meticulously organized collection. A slim, leather-bound journal, its pages brittle with age, sits atop a stack of schematics for a device you don't recognize. Next to it, a small, polished wooden box containing a single, tarnished silver locket. And finally, nestled at the bottom, a sealed envelope bearing the inscription, "For Cole Maxwell, should I fall." Your name. A chill, cold as the vault air, traces its way up your spine. He knew. Or he suspected. You carefully extract the envelope, the journal, and the schematics. The locket you leave for now, a lesser mystery. The journal feels ancient, its pages filled with elegant looping script. You open it, scanning the first few entries. A riddle from the grave. This is the reveal discovery. Not a direct answer, but a deeper enigma tied to you. Back in the sterile light of your office, the items spread across your desk. They refuse to yield their secrets easily. The schematics depict an energy conduit, complex and unfamiliar, seemingly unrelated to Thorne's public tech empire. The journal's cryptic words resonate, a discordant hum in your thoughts. You make calls, pulling in resources. A colleague with an expertise in historical ciphers examines the journal, while a network engineer pores over the schematics. Both return with blank stares, more questions than answers. "It's beyond me, Cole," the network engineer admits, tracing a finger over a complex diagram. "Looks theoretical, maybe even speculative. Nothing I've seen in any current tech." The red herrings begin to pile. None would ever want him gone. He was too valuable. Yet, a confidential interview with a rival CEO reveals a different narrative. Thorne was bleeding money, Maxwell. The CEO states, a predatory glint in his eye. His last project was a colossal failure, consuming capital faster than he could generate it. He was desperate, looking for any way out. Two conflicting truths, both plausible, neither offering a clear path. You question Thorne's estranged sibling, a woman whose bitterness is a palpable shroud. He always thought he was smarter than everyone. She spits, her eyes narrowed. He had enemies everywhere, Cole. He burned bridges like they were kindling. Anyone could have done it. Her testimony is fueled by resentment, clouding its veracity. The pressure intensifies. Your commander's voice, usually a calm anchor, now carries an edge of impatience. "Cole, this is a high-profile case. The mayor's office is calling. Thorne's board of directors are making noise. We need progress. What about the locked room? The weapon?" You stand before him. The fluorescent lights of his office stark against the grim set of his jaw. "We're pursuing several leads, Commander. The vault yielded some. Unusual items. We're still deciphering them." Unusual isn't an answer, Cole. We have a dead mogul, no entry, no exit, no weapon. People are starting to talk about impossible crimes. We can't have that. He leans forward, his gaze piercing. "Find me a motive, find me a method, and make it quick. The public's patience is thin, and so is mine." The weight of the case settles heavily upon your shoulders, a familiar burden. You push it back, but the doubt lingers. The conflicting testimonies, the cryptic journal, the impossible murder. Each piece seems to pull in a different direction, scattering the truth like dust in the wind. It's the weight of forgotten secrets, the muted hum of security systems, and the scent of aged paper mingling with the faint metallic tang of steel. You stand amidst towering rows of safe deposit boxes, each a silent sentinel guarding its unseen contents. The air is thick with a stillness that presses against your eardrums, broken only by the soft click of a colleague's camera as they document the scene. Your gaze sweeps across the room, past the heavy vault door, past the polished brass numbering, until it lands on the object of your current scrutiny. A small, unassuming data storage device, unlike any off-the-shelf model. It rests on a portable examination table, bathed in the harsh glow of a forensic lamp. Its casing is a seamless obsidian, crafted from an unknown composite, utterly devoid of seams or visible access points. A bespoke creation, designed for absolute, impenetrable privacy. You trace its contours with a gloved finger, the material cool and slick beneath the nitrile. The victim kept this locked away. The detective's voice, a low rumble, breaks the silence. Claimed it contained his legacy. No key, no password, just biometric access. And, well, he's not around to provide that anymore. You nod, your eyes fixed on the device. It possesses a singular, almost artistic quality. At one end, where a port should be, there's only a smooth, unbroken surface. It's not decorative. It's part of the security, A fractal encryption pattern, a fingerprint of its own. A jolt, sharp and sudden, courses through you, not of discovery, but of recognition. The air in your lungs catches, held captive. You are no longer in the vault. You are standing in the skeletal remains of an abandoned factory, years ago, the metallic tang of rust and despair filling your nostrils. The scene is bathed in the stark, unforgiving beam of your flashlight. At your feet, amidst the shattered concrete and twisted rebar, lies a similar device. That device, too, had been a marvel of engineering, a secure data core from a high-profile industrialist. It had been found at the heart of a puzzle, a murder without a trace. And that device, like this one, had borne a unique, almost organic pattern on its surface, a signature of its bespoke security. The memory hits with the force of a physical blow. You recall the frustration, the hours spent with experts, the futile attempts to breach its defenses. The victim's face etched in your mind, a silent accusation, the weight of your failure, a leaden cloak wrapped around your shoulders. The killer had vanished, leaving only that impenetrable device, a symbol of your inability to solve the impossible. A tremor runs through your hand, gloved and still resting on the current device. The intricate spiral pattern on its surface seems to pulse, drawing you deeper into the past. The feeling of helplessness, the gnawing doubt that had corroded your resolve then, begins to resurface, clawing at the edges of your carefully constructed composure. Cole? The detective's voice, closer now, pulls you back, anchors you to the present. His brow is furrowed, his gaze scrutinizing your face. You realize your breath is shallow, your jaw clenched. You force your hand away from the device, clenching it into a fist at your side, trying to steady the unbidden tremor. A familiar design, you manage, your voice rougher than intended. The spirals on the obsidian casing seem to twist, to mock you with their silent challenge. The detective says nothing, but his eyes linger on your face, a question forming in their depths. You feel exposed, vulnerable. This case, with its impossible parameters, its locked room enigma, is no longer just another investigation. It's a mirror reflecting your deepest fears, a challenge not just to your skills, but to the very core of your determination. You push it back, but the doubt lingers, a poisoned whisper in the echoing silence of the vault. The cool, smooth surface of the composite device still rests in your palm, its weight a peculiar anchor. This isn't a port, not in any familiar sense, yet its presence feels like a silent, mocking challenge. The conventional avenues, the standard forensic sweeps, have yielded only sterile silence. A locked room devoid of answers. A phantom killer. Frustration, a familiar, acrid taste, coats your tongue. You need a different lens, a mind unburdened by the gravity of established protocols. One that sees not just code, but the poetry of its intent. Your thoughts turn to the expert, Lena Petrova, a name whispered in hushed tones across the digital underground, a virtuoso of unseen currents and hidden architectures. Her reputation precedes her, a mosaic of brilliance and volatile eccentricity. The taxi winds through the city's older quarter, past facades of aged stone and wrought iron, finally stopping before a nondescript, imposing structure. A discreet side entrance, almost hidden by an ivy-clad wall, is your destination. You press the buzzer, a single sharp tone echoing in the narrow alley. The descent feels like a journey into the Earth's memory, each step on the worn marble stairs amplifying the quiet hum that grows steadily louder. Finally, a reinforced steel door, scarred with the marks of time and immense pressure, blocks your path. A small biometric scanner glows faintly. You place your hand upon it, a soft whirring sound confirming your identity. The door slides open with a pneumatic sigh, revealing a space that defies its ancient shell. The air here is crisp, cool, infused with the sterile tang of ozone and the subtle warmth of powerful machines. In the center, amidst a swirling nexus of holographic displays and glowing screens, sits the expert. Her frame is slight, almost bird-like, dwarfed by the glowing expanse of data. Her hair, a vibrant shock of magenta, is pulled back in a loose knot, tendrils escaping to frame an intense, angular face. She finally turns, her eyes, the color of stormy sea, fix on you. Thorne's system, a digital whisper in a hurricane of data. Your conventional methods. She gestures dismissively with a slender hand towards a stack of printed reports on a nearby table, are like trying to catch starlight with a butterfly net. That's why I'm here. You respond, your voice steady. My methods have hit a wall. Yours. Thorne built a fortress not just of steel and glass, but of pure data, except for one moment. The moment of the kill, you state, the words hanging heavy in the cool air. Precisely. Too perfect. She turns back to her displays, her fingers dancing across a transparent interface, pulling up intricate network diagrams and time-stamped logs. The security system, the smart home controls, the environmental sensors, all functioning, all reporting normal parameters. It's a ghost story told in gigabytes. You watch, a silent observer, as she navigates the digital landscape of Thorne's smart home. But Thorne's system was bespoke, his own creation, an extension of his mind. To breach it from the outside would require a genius equal to his. Leave a signature as bold as a lightning strike. And you found no such signature? None that screams intrusion. Her eyes narrow, zooming in on a specific segment of the timeline, a mere flicker in the vast ocean of data. But there's this, a ripple, a perturbation so minute, so fleeting, it was dismissed as network noise, a ghost packet. On a large screen, she isolates a segment. It's barely visible, a single anomalous data burst, less than a nanosecond in duration. It appears as a brief, almost invisible spike in an otherwise smooth data flow, a solitary pixel out of place. See this? She points with a laser-thin beam of light from her finger. A single, unauthorized data transmission. Outgoing, not inbound. And it carries a signature I've never encountered. She zooms in further, and suddenly, the faint spiraling pattern from the device in your pocket reappears, rendered in shimmering data. It's a digital echo, a complex self-similar fractal pattern, woven into the metadata of that single outgoing burst. It's almost imperceptible, hidden within the noise, but undeniably there. It's a fingerprint, she breathes, her voice tinged with a blend of awe and suspicion. A digital signature, unique and utterly baffling. It's not a known encryption, not a standard protocol. It's a key. Or perhaps a lock. Your breath catches. The physical pattern on the composite device, dismissed as an aesthetic flourish or a manufacturing quirk, now resonates with this digital phantom. The anomaly isn't just a glitch, it's a deliberate mark, a calling card. The tension in the vault is palpable, a silent hum of discovery. You have found a thread, impossibly fine, yet undeniably present, stretching from the victim's hand to the heart of his digital fortress. The game has changed. The air, thick with the scent of ozone and old paper, felt heavier than usual, pressing in as you leaned over the glowing interface. Her finger, tipped with a pale crescent of nail, hovered over a highlighted segment. The anomaly you saw on the composite device, the one you brought in. It's a physical manifestation of this. A unique signature, burned into the hardware at a microscopic level. A fingerprint, if you will, but of pure data. You felt a tremor, a subtle shift in the tectonic plates of your understanding. The 10 you remembered, the pattern you dismissed as an aesthetic, now pulsed with a terrifying new meaning. What does it mean, specifically? Your voice, rough with anticipation, sliced through the quiet. "It's a sequence," she explained, her gaze fixed on the screen. "A 10-step injection. Not a virus, not malware in the conventional sense. This isn't about stealing data or crashing systems. It's a command sequence, meticulously crafted. Everything? How? It didn't break in. It walked through an open door no one knew existed. Think of Thorne's smart home as a fortress. This sequence didn't blast a hole in the wall. You remembered the pristine rooms, the seamless integration of technology into every facet of his life. Manipulated what, exactly? His environment. She stated, her eyes finally lifting from the screen to meet yours, a glint of grim fascination in their depths. The ambient controls, the air purification, the localized heating and cooling systems, every sensory input, every environmental output. This sequence, the 10 steps, gave the perpetrator absolute granular control over Thorne's immediate surroundings. A knot tightened in your stomach. The impossible death, the lack of a physical weapon, the locked room. It began to coalesce into a horrifying vision. Are you saying he was killed by his own house? A slow, deliberate nod. Not directly by the house, no, but by a condition created by the house. The hack wasn't designed to destroy, but to orchestrate. It didn't fire a bullet. It created the perfect storm for a fatal event. Imagine a microclimate, localized and intense, triggered at a precise moment. A sudden, drastic drop in atmospheric pressure in a specific room, or a rapid, extreme temperature fluctuation. The house itself became the instrument. The ultimate locked room mystery. The beauty of it, from a criminal perspective, she continued, her voice devoid of emotion, is its ephemerality. Once the sequence executed, the environmental conditions reverted. There's no residue, no lingering sign of interference beyond the initial, almost invisible digital signature burned into the composite device. A signature that, without your intuition, would have been dismissed as manufacturing error. You thought of the victim's quiet, almost peaceful expression, found amidst the sterile perfection of his home. The killer hadn't needed to lay a hand on Thorne. The perfect murder in a digital age. The weight of the discovery pressed down on you, a leaden cloak. The insidious elegance of Thorne's demise now unfurled its true, chilling implications before you. It was a signature, a declaration. The invisible hand that had reached into Thorne's secure world, twisting the very air into a weapon, was not sated. A predator, having tasted blood, rarely retreats into the shadows, especially one so precise, so devoid of error. You knew, with a certainty that thrummed through your bones, that the killer was still out there, weaving another intricate web, preparing another stage. The digital fog remained, but now it felt less like a shroud and more like a warning, a veil that could drop at any moment, revealing another carefully orchestrated tragedy. The pre-dawn quiet, a fragile illusion, shattered with the insistent chirp of your secure line. The caller, a uniformed officer, spoke with a clipped urgency that cut through the lingering echoes of your thoughts. Cole Maxwell, another one. Similar circumstances. High profile, very secure. You need to see this. The drive was a blur of streetlights painting fleeting streaks across the rain-slicked asphalt. The city, normally a cacophony, felt hushed, expectant, as if holding its breath. You pictured the scene. Another fortress breached, another life extinguished by an unseen force. The killer was not just active. They were escalating, growing bolder, their invisible footprint now stretching beyond Thorne's smart home. The address led you to a granite edifice, its ornate carvings softened by decades of city grime, standing sentinel amidst modern glass towers. A heavy wrought iron gate, flanked by concerned security personnel, swung open at your approach. A colleague, the sharp-eyed analyst Lena, already awaited you. Her face a mask of professional concern, a tablet clutched in her gloved hand. "They found him an hour ago, Cole," she greeted, her voice a low murmur. The vault manager noticed a discrepancy on the internal monitoring system. Just stillness where there shouldn't have been. You followed her down a grand marble staircase, past portraits of stern-faced founders, into the belly of the building. The air grew cooler, heavier, carrying the faint scent of old paper and metal. The corridor narrowed, leading to a formidable steel door, its surface a mosaic of complex locking mechanisms. Uniformed officers stood guard, their faces tight with a mixture of awe and unease. This was not a typical scene for them. In the center, beside an open, empty vault door, lay the victim. His name, you learned, was Elias Thorne, no relation to the first victim, but a prominent figure in the venture capital world, known for his cutthroat deals and extensive network within the tech industry. Another titan, brought low by an invisible hand. "Forensics are still processing," a lead detective informed you, gesturing vaguely at the team in white suits sifting through the scene. No signs of struggle, no weapon, no obvious cause of death. Just... The air felt thick, charged with the lingering presence of violence. She nodded, tapping her tablet. "It's encrypted, of course, but the internal logs show it was active just moments before the manager noticed the discrepancy. It seems he was attempting a large transfer or perhaps accessing highly sensitive data." She paused, her brow furrowing. "And the environmental sensors in the vault show a brief, localized spike in certain electromagnetic frequencies, far beyond normal operating parameters, right at the time of death. Similar to the anomalies we found in Thorne's home, but even more concentrated, more weaponized." The words resonated with a sickening clarity. This wasn't just similar. It was an evolution. The killer had refined their technique, adapted it to a new, even more secure environment. This wasn't about breaking in. It was about breaking through. As you rose, your eyes scanning the intricate network of cameras dotting the vault, a subtle tremor ran through the floor. A low hum, almost subliminal, vibrated through the air. You felt a prickle on your skin, a faint metallic taste on your tongue. Lena, too, looked up, her head cocked, her tablet screen flickering with a sudden burst of red alerts. "Cole," she breathed, her voice tight with alarm. "The environmental readings. They're spiking again, right now, and the vault's internal systems are showing a cascade of errors. Someone's trying to lock down the entire section remotely." The killer wasn't just observing. They were still here, still active, still manipulating the environment, perhaps even trying to erase their tracks, or worse, trap you within their intricate web. The hum intensified, a low growl from the very fabric of the building. You glanced at Lena, then at the heavy steel door, now showing a warning light. Lockdown initiated. The air thickened, pressing in on you. The killer had struck again, and now, in the heart of this impenetrable vault, you and your colleagues stood directly in their crosshairs, caught in the invisible wake of their evolving, deadly art. The game had just escalated, and you were no longer merely an investigator. You were a target. It is not the familiar thrum of ancient machinery, but something colder, more purposeful, a vibration that resonates in your teeth. You scan the steel-lined room, your gaze tracing the meticulous seams of the vault, the impenetrable door, the heavy boxes. The air, thick with the scent of dust and aged paper, seems to press in, a silent accomplice to the killer's lingering presence. Your hand drifts to the cold steel of a forgotten security panel, its buttons long since fused with grime. A faint click, barely audible above the persistent hum, confirms your suspicion. A false back. Inside, nestled in the dust of decades, lies not a hidden weapon or a coded message, but a small, tarnished silver locket. It is intricate, antique, entirely out of place amidst the stark utility of the vault. You pry it open with a thumbnail. Inside, two miniature portraits faded by time, stare back. One, a younger, almost unrecognizable Thorne, his eyes alight with a youthful ambition yet untainted by the sharp edges of his later years. The other, a woman of striking beauty, her smile gentle, her gaze direct. They are not random. They form a pattern, a timeline of sorts, each date coinciding with a significant patent filing by Thorne, patents that laid the groundwork for his empire. Yet one date stands out, starkly alone, separated from the others by a small, deliberate scratch. It aligns with a patent that was never filed by Thorne, a concept you recall from the victim's early, obscure research. A tremor runs through you, a premonition of understanding. The hum around you seems to sharpen, to coalesce into a single, insistent note, a background chorus to the dawning truth. You remember the unique murder method, the impossible execution within a sealed environment. It was a method born of intimate knowledge, of a deep understanding of the victim's own technological fortress. And now, this locket, this timeline, this missing patent. Thorne's secretive past, you realize, isn't just about corporate maneuvers. It's about something far more personal, far more devastating. The woman in the locket, her gentle smile. What if she wasn't just a love interest, but a collaborator? A partner whose ideas were not shared, but stolen. The missing patent, that solitary scratched date, begins to speak volumes. It points to a betrayal, not just of trust, but of intellectual property, of a shared dream, of a future. You see it now, the intricate web. The locked room was a statement, a recreation of the victim's own isolation, his self-imposed prison of wealth. The method, the silent, bloodless end, mirrors the quiet, unseen theft of an idea, a life's work. The killer didn't want to simply end Thorne's life. They wanted to dismantle his legacy, piece by agonizing piece, using the very tools Thorne had built his empire upon. The hum in the vault takes on a new meaning. It is not just an ambient sound. It is the low thrum of a system, a network, a meticulously crafted environment. You recall the smart home, its seamless integration, its absolute control. The killer, you deduce, wasn't just observing from afar. They were inside the system, an invisible hand guiding its functions, turning Thorne's sanctuary into his tomb. The hum is a heartbeat, a digital pulse of a mind still at work, still orchestrating. This isn't corporate espionage driven by mere financial gain. The obsession isn't with wealth, but with justice, a twisted, deeply personal retribution. The woman in the locket. He would have had the insight, the technical prowess, the deep-seated resentment to craft such a meticulous personal act of revenge. Or perhaps, not her, but someone deeply connected to her, someone who witnessed Thorne's betrayal firsthand. The killer isn't just brilliant. They are driven by a singular, consuming fire. Their motive isn't revenge for a business deal gone sour, but for a life irrevocably altered, a future irrevocably stolen. Thorne didn't just outmaneuver a rival, he shattered a soul. And in this vault, surrounded by the echoes of his past, you finally understand the depth of that shattering and the monstrous, beautiful precision of the killer's response. The hum continues, a quiet testament to a mind still at work, still weaving its intricate, deadly design. You know now, with an unnerving certainty, the kind of person you are hunting. Someone who understands Thorne's world better than anyone. Someone who built it with him, only to have it ripped away. You scan the steel-lined room, your gaze tracing the steel-lined walls, the heavy safe doors, the single unblinking surveillance lens in the corner. This hum, you realize, is not from the building's ancient bones. It is the echo of the smart home, not in its sleek, polished surfaces, but in its deep, unseen wiring. The same silent language that allowed a life to be extinguished without a single forced entry, without a visible trace. The same insidious manipulation that turned a sanctuary into a tomb. A cold certainty settles in your gut, tighter than any knot. The killer's signature. You close your eyes, letting the sound wash over you, reconstructing the sequence of events. The victim, isolated, digital locks failing, air systems subtly altered, a silent, unseen hand turning the smart home's luxuries into instruments of demise. It wasn't just a hack. It was an intimate understanding of the system, a master key woven from code and opportunity. And now, here, in this vault, the same subtle digital pulse confirms it. The hum is a data stream, a low-frequency broadcast of hidden activity, a silent confession. They know the digital architecture, the vulnerabilities, the secret pathways. They know this vault too, its hidden servers, its secure network. The pieces click into place, sharp and unforgiving. The corporate espionage, the family betrayal, the cutthroat industry. It all converges on one figure, a spider at the center of a meticulously spun web. You open your eyes. The air in the vault, once stale, now feels charged, a prelude to a storm. You are no longer merely investigating, you are hunting. And to hunt this ghost, you must become a ghost yourself, dancing on the very frequencies they command. Leaving the vault, the heavy door clangs shut behind you, sealing away the hum, but not its revelation. You walk, not towards your office, but towards a different kind of sanctuary, a secure facility known only to a select few, where the city's digital heartbeat can be heard and manipulated. Inside the sterile, humming room, the analyst, a young woman whose eyes hold the perpetual glow of a screen, looks up as you enter. "Cole," she greets, her voice low. "Any breakthroughs?" You nod, your gaze sweeping over the banks of blinking lights. The vast monitors displaying an intricate tapestry of data. "I know who it is," you state, the words a low rumble in the quiet space. "And I know how they operate. We give them something they can't resist, something that forces them out from behind the screen." Your plan begins to unfold, a delicate, dangerous tapestry woven from the killer's own threads. You propose creating a fabricated data leak, a phantom signal of a newly discovered highly sensitive data package. This package, you explain, would appear to contain the victim's final damning secrets, not just corporate intel, something that, if exposed, would destroy them. The analyst nods, her fingers already dancing across the keyboard, a flurry of precise movements. A ghost in the machine for a ghost in the machine. She murmurs, already translating your concept into code. We create a digital breadcrumb trail, leading to... where? A physical location. You answer, the choice already clear in your mind. Not your office, not a public place, but somewhere isolated, somewhere that speaks to the killer's meticulous nature, their need for control. A specific abandoned factory, known for its derelict server rooms, its forgotten network infrastructure. The bait is set. A meticulously crafted digital phantom, broadcasting a vulnerability that only the killer would dare to exploit. The trap hinges on their arrogance, their belief in their own untouchable digital prowess. You are using their own methods, their own tools, their own obsession with control, to lure them into the light. The analyst works tirelessly, creating the digital illusion, seeding the network with the fabricated data signature. A siren call meant for one pair of ears only. The tension in the room is a living thing, thick and humming, mirroring the vault's silent confession. You know the intelligence you face, the cunning, the ruthlessness. This isn't just a matter of catching a killer. It's a chess match against a mind that sees the world in algorithms and vulnerabilities. You are stepping onto their battlefield, inviting them to a physical confrontation, knowing full well you are walking into their game. But this time, you hold a piece of their game board. The digital war is over. The physical one is about to begin. You are ready for the ghost. The city hums a low, expectant note as your vehicle cuts through its arteries, each turn bringing you closer to the heart of the matter. The streetlights bleed soft halos onto the rain-slicked asphalt, reflecting a fractured image of your resolve. Not a chase, not a pursuit of fleeting shadows, but a calculated convergence, a meeting of minds drawn to a singular, inevitable point. A lone officer, a young face etched with an eagerness to prove themselves, stands guard, their breath misting in the pre-dawn air. You offer a curt nod, a silent acknowledgement of the path you must walk alone. The heavy, brass-bound doors groan a protest as they swing inward, revealing a descent into quiet, echoing depths. The air grows thick with the scent of dust and aged metal, a metallic tang that pricks your nostrils. Down, down you go, into the earth's embrace, where light struggles to penetrate. Then, a faint, rhythmic hum. The vault. Not merely a repository for gold, but a fortress for data. A final, impenetrable redoubt for secrets. You push through a final, massive steel door, its surface scarred by time, yet its locking mechanism gleams with recent maintenance. The hum intensifies, a chorus of servers and cooling fans. In the center, bathed in the cool blue glow of multiple monitors, sits the killer. It is the former protégé, their silhouette sharp against the screens, fingers dancing across a holographic keyboard. Their gaze, when it finally lifts to meet yours, is devoid of surprise, only a calculating glint. Cole Maxwell, the former protégé states, their voice flat, modulated, as if speaking through a digital filter. You are precise, predictable. You left a trail, you counter, your voice steady, a low rumble against the hum, a thread of arrogance woven into your digital tapestry. The former protégé smiles, a thin, humorless line. Arrogance or a challenge? The victim believed himself untouchable. A fortress of code and steel. I merely showed him the flaw in his design. You take a slow step forward, surveying the setup. A complex array of network switches, a bank of high-end servers, fiber optic cables snaking across the floor like digital serpents. Almost dismissive hand. The smart home was an extension of his mind, Cole. Every sensor, every camera, every automated function, a neuron. He built it to protect him, but he also built its vulnerabilities. A remote drone, modified to resemble one of his domestic bots, entered through the ventilation system. It delivered the neurotoxin, a tailored aerosol, precise and undetectable. The system then purged the drone, vaporized it within the incinerator, leaving no trace. The very essence of the victim's genius turned against him. And the motive? You press, your gaze hardening. Was it truly about proving a flaw in design or something more? The former protégé laughs, a sound like dry leaves skittering across pavement. He stole it all, Cole. My algorithms, my prototypes, my vision. He built his empire on my foundations, then cast me aside. He thought I was merely a brilliant mind. I am the future he tried to suppress. On the screens, the data erasure accelerates. A progress bar creeps towards 100%. You're trying to erase everything, you observe, your eyes narrowing. To vanish from the digital world, leaving no trace of your vengeance. A clean slate, the former protégé confirms, their fingers a blur on the holographic interface. The ultimate escape. A low, guttural growl emanates from the servers, a shift in their rhythmic hum. The air conditioning sputters. A little gift, the former protégé says, their voice laced with triumph. An EMP pulse, localized, contained. It will fry your communications, disrupt your ability to call for aid. And then, Cole, you will witness the final deletion. You feel the static prickle your skin, a faint ozone smell filling the air. Your comms device, a sturdy piece of kit, goes dead in your hand. Isolated. exactly as the killer intended. You move, not towards the killer, but towards the server racks, your eyes seeking a vulnerable point, a manual override, anything that could sever the digital lifeline. The former protege, anticipating your move, activates a hidden panel. A high-pitched whine fills the air as a series of metallic shutters descend from the ceiling, creating a formidable barrier between you and the main control console, trapping you amidst the humming machinery. Every contingency accounted for. The former protege sneers. You are a relic, Cole. You are a detective, hardened by years of observation, of seeing the cracks in perfect facades. Your gaze falls upon a cluster of thick, braided power cables feeding into the main server bank, exposed, just beyond the edge of one descending shutter. A single, desperate chance. The hum of the servers, the whir of the cooling fans, the relentless scroll of deletion on the screens. It all coalesces into a singular target. Your eyes lock onto the cables, a silent calculation unfolding in your mind. The hum of the server bank, a steady drone against the frantic pulse in your ears, suddenly takes on a new, ominous quality. Your gaze, sharp and unyielding, locks onto the cluster of thick, braided power cables, feeding life into the digital fortress that has held its secrets so tightly. They are exposed, a vulnerable artery just beyond the descending edge of one shutter, a final, desperate chance. Your mind, a whirlwind of calculated risks, zeroes in on the weakness. This isn't about elegant solutions anymore. It's about raw intervention. With a surge of adrenaline that clears the fog of exhaustion, you snatch a heavy, discarded server rack handle, a crude yet effective tool. There is no hesitation. Sparks erupt, a brief, violent symphony of electrical protest, and the air crackles with the scent of ozone. The effect is immediate, catastrophic. The descending shutter grinds to a halt, then shudders violently, reversing its course with an agonizing groan. Alarms, previously muted by the killer's clever programming, now shriek, a raw, piercing cry that tears through the silence, startled and exposed, is suddenly visible within the partially opened gap. The architect of this digital labyrinth, caught in the sudden, blinding glare of your intervention. Their face, a mask of carefully constructed composure, crumbles into pure, unadulterated shock. They had not accounted for the human element, for the instinct that cuts through digital veils. You don't give them a chance to react. You are through the gap in an instant, a force of nature driven by weeks of relentless pursuit. The struggle is brief, brutal, fueled by the killer's desperate need to maintain their perfect facade and your unwavering resolve to shatter it. Backup arrives moments later, a cacophony of sirens and flashing lights. The tech mogul's smart home, once a bastion of impenetrable security, now bleeds light and sound from every aperture, a testament to its violent unraveling. The arrest is made, the killer led away, their eyes still holding a flicker of disbelief that their intricate web had been so crudely, yet effectively, severed. Days later, the world outside the smart home is a different kind of quiet. The media storm has raged, then subsided into a steady drizzle of analysis and speculation. This isn't the sterile, high-tech environment of the crime scene, but a place where secrets are held in tangible form, locked away in physical boxes. A colleague, methodical and quiet, slides a heavy brass-bound ledger across a polished oak table towards you. It contains the victim's final, damning financial transactions, the evidence of corporate espionage, the betrayal that fueled the killer's motive, now laid bare. You run a gloved hand over the embossed leather cover. The case, in its essence, was a collision of the archaic and the hyper-modern. But you, Cole Maxwell, had met that ghost with an old-school tenacity, a refusal to be intimidated by the arcane language of code and circuits. You had looked for the human flaw, the physical vulnerability, and found it in a bundle of power cables. It doesn't vanish, but its grip loosens. you realize it wasn't a failure of intellect, but a failure of perspective. A younger you, too rigid, too unwilling to see beyond the conventional. This case, with its digital smoke and mirrors, had forced you to adapt, to look for the analog answer in a digital problem. It had been a brutal, exhilarating re-education. You've seen how easily it can be twisted, how it can create new forms of vulnerability even as it promises security. The smart home, a symbol of progress, had become a tomb. The digital footprint, meant to connect, had become a weapon. The implications ripple outward, beyond this single case, into the fabric of an increasingly connected world. Who watches the watchers when the watchers are lines of code? Yet, there is also a quiet triumph. Justice, however complex its path, had been served. The truth, however convoluted, had been unearthed. You feel the familiar ache of exhaustion, but beneath it, a renewed sense of purpose begins to stir. The world is changing, and with it, the nature of crime. But the core of detection, the relentless pursuit of truth, remains constant. You close the ledger, the soft thud echoing in the vault. The air here, though heavy with history, no longer feels stagnant. Your hand, steady and sure, reaches for the vault door, ready to step back into the world, a detective reborn.